California is closing down again.
Effective today, requiring all counties to close their indoor activities. Restaurants, wineries, tasting rooms, movie theaters, family entertainment centers, zoos and museums, card rooms, and the shuttering of all bars. Fitness centers, places of worship, offices for non-critical sectors, personal care services, that includes hair salons, barbershops, and indoor malls.
California shutting down all indoor dining, movie theaters, museums, and zoos. In addition, in 29 counties where 80% of the population lives, shopping malls, hair salons, gyms, and non-essential offices will also be shut down. The governor saying this virus is not going away anytime soon.
Security footage obtained by Fox News and time-stamped Monday, 3:08 p.m. Pacific time. An 80-year-old part-time Napa resident called Nancy Pelosi can be seen slinking through a San Francisco hair salon. She has wet hair. She is not wearing a mask, but she was indoors. She was almost alone because due to coronavirus regulations, salons in San Francisco are closed for indoor services. Nancy Pelosi went inside. She can do that because she is the Speaker of the House, third in line for the presidency. You cannot because you don't have as much power as Nancy Pelosi has. Nancy Pelosi knows what she's talking about. That's the principle that has guided her career for decades now. And in fact, if you watched MSNBC last night, you watched her point out, and this is true, that only bad people don't wear masks or stay socially distant.
What further evidence does anyone need that this president doesn't care less about the spread of this virus than to see what he did, vandalizing, by the way, the White House by bringing all those people there, no mask, no distancing, and the rest. He slapped science right in the face. And what a bad example that was.
Donald Trump slapped science right in the face. And that's not easy, by the way, because science is a worthy opponent. Stings like a bee. But by that standard, and that is the standard now, Nancy Pelosi didn't simply slap science in the face yesterday. No. By not wearing a mask and sneaking into a hair salon others are banned from entering, Nancy Pelosi did something worse. Nancy Pelosi drowned science in a $12 a pint designer ice cream cup. She crushed science with her $20,000 Sub-Zero freezer. And then she ripped science apart like a State of the Union address. And she did it all on camera. Woo! Violent.
Why is it, do you think, he's chosen that tack? Why you've been in rooms having very tense negotiations with him over the past 12 months. Why is it, do you think, that the president is choosing to ignore scientists and science and talk about reopening the country, not shut the country down soon enough? Why do you think?
But he's sort of beaten the odds in terms of a lot of people.
Well, yes, but you know what? He's not going to be president. He is not, Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. Take it to the bank.
Okay.
I guarantee it.
All right. All right.
Mr. President, Mr. President. Mr. President, Mr. President, the leader wants it.
Well, I do believe that he is in denial, and again, the delays are dangerous. Said that over and over. But the fact is, if you're not evidence-based, if you're not science-based, you have the luxury of just saying whatever you feel like. And that luxury is one our country can no longer afford because it is, again, dangerous. So I can't psych out the president and why he does certain things.
But speaking of Mitch, what's gotten into him? Well, it's an indication. The president is asking people to inject Lysol into their lungs.
Yesterday, Nancy Pelosi caught on camera, security camera, visiting a hair salon indoors without wearing a mask, despite local ordinances. Yep, those salons, all of them inside and outside yesterday, had to be closed.
Donald Trump really does care about the American citizen. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden, all they want is power. Power so that people will have to depend on them. It's outrageous.
And I think we're in good shape. I'm more than 100% confident about the president, but the Senate matters, and get Nancy Pelosi out of a position of power. We have to take the House.
Leo.
Mr. President, please, I want to go to Michigan. I want to go to Wisconsin. I want to go to Pennsylvania. I want to work in those battleground states to get people of all colors to shift to vote for you. I have to be there in those battleground states. I want to help you 24/7. We cannot let Pelosi and those dinosaurs run this country for the next 4 years.
Just ridiculous for the President Trump, to say that President Obama would ever order any wiretap of an American citizen, any president. That's just we don't do that. And so this is, it's called a wrap-up smear. You make up something, and then you have the press write about it, and then you say everybody's writing about this charge. It's a tool of an authoritarian.
But I just do wonder how others can stand with him while he says the things he does in a way that they are accepting as truth. Here's what's really dangerous about it, James. It's one thing to not tell the truth, to convey falsehood after falsehood after falsehood, but to do so repetitively that people almost accept it as partially true eclipses the facts.
It's called a wrap-up smear.
Let us pray. Let us pray for the president. What the president misunderstands is that cruelty is not wit. Just because he gets a laugh for saying the cruel things that he says doesn't mean he's funny. It's not funny at all. It's very sad. Especially in his age group and in his, shall we say, weight group, what is morbidly obese, they say. Cruelty is not wit. Doesn't mean he's funny.
I don't respond to her. I think she's a waste of time. These people are sick. Pelosi is a sick woman. She's got a lot of problems, a lot of mental problems. We're dealing with people that have to get their act together for the good of the country.
Madam Speaker, what you said is actually something that can be corroborated in the White House's release of the president's last physical, which is that his weight does qualify him as being morbidly obese.
No, I had no idea. I didn't know that he would be so sensitive. He's always talking about other people's avoirdupois, their weight, their pounds. But I don't even want to spend any more time on his distraction.
You know why she doesn't want to spend any more time on it? Let me translate that for you. She's praying he doesn't start going after her over her obvious plastic surgeries and her Botox. That's what she's hoping. And you know he will. You know he will. If she wants to go down that road, you want to roll around in the mud, Mrs. Pelosi, with him, you better be prepared to get a little dirty. Because if you think his weight is fair game, wait till you hear what he does with you.
So we have to insist on the truth. Because, again, it doesn't seem like he has any, shall we say, thoughtfulness about mistakes that have been made. He cares about the lives and the livelihoods of the American people.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic.
Vote for Donald Trump. Yeah. 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 Vote for Donald Trump.
And your mother is voting for Trump. She's voting for Trump. True.